What's up, y'all? The Milwaukee Bucks have won the NBA Cup. I'm not going to lie. I expected a better fight out of OKC. I expected Shea to have a better game. Not like a masterclass Shea game, but a better game. Was definitely disappointed by that. But something I have been thoroughly surprised by is how good the Milwaukee Bucks really are. They have completely turned around their season, completely changed the narrative. Instead of the narrative being, will Golden State sell the farm for Giannis? Giannis is going to force his way out. Giannis is going to go to a team that's going to accept him and his brother on the roster. There's feuds between Giannis and Dame. While all that could have been very true to begin the season and could still be true, it doesn't matter because the Milwaukee Bucks are the NBA Cup winners. They look unstoppable at times, and this is without Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton's not even playing. Now, granted, that's something that I'm sure Bucks fans are used to, and that's no dig. That's just the truth. That's just what's going on with this. But it's showing that they have a very skilled roster mixed with veterans and some pretty good pieces. I mean, Covington has pretty much fell outside of the starting line, like the lineup out of the rotation. I don't really watch too many Bucks games outside of primetime games because I'm not in their market. So I'm not really sure what's been going on with some of the players that you're used to seeing have a lot of minutes. But it looks like it's working. Giannis is playing at an MVP caliber level. In my opinion, Giannis is the very early front runner for MVP. He's playing phenomenal basketball. He cannot be stopped. I'm telling y'all, if Giannis, I don't know if he ever will, but if Giannis ever develops a reliable jump shot, I'm not saying he has to be Steph Curry. I'm not saying he has to be DeMar DeRozan with the midi. I'm just saying it's like, yo, you're going to have to honor me by guarding me for majority of the basket. You got some feet away from the basket, you're going to have to honor me, man. Because I could blow past you, but I could also pick and pop. I can do so many different things. And I think once he develops that part of his game, again, he's a vet now. I don't really know if he's ever going to do that. He probably is not. But I'm telling you, if he gets like a true, reliable, consistent jumper where it's like, he's not going to make all of them, but there's a high enough chance he's going to make it to the point where you have to guard him, and that enables him to pass by you, enables him, it'll open up the game even more for him. He's already unstoppable. It's going to open up the game even more. I know we've been saying that for years, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Giannis this season. Like, he and Dame really have, you can see it in their game. They've taken it personally and taken it to heart that they are going to have to lead this team to a title. The whole point of Dame going there is to win a championship. They were playing so bad, he might as well have not left Portland. That's how bad they were playing. Last season was very disappointing as well. But right now, they're playing phenomenal basketball. They're playing basketball like this is what we expected to see Damian Giannis last year. That's how good they're playing. And the rest of the pieces on the team are playing very well. They're playing complementary basketball. You're seeing all kinds of plays being made. You're seeing timely threes. Gary Trent Jr. went off tonight. He did just timely shots, because I keep telling people when it comes to sports, no matter what sport is, momentum is so important. It can win and lose games. It's like a 12th man in football. It's like a 6th man in basketball. The momentum can really change not only a game, it could change a season, it could change a series. It is so powerful in sports. And I think it's one of the most underrated aspects of sports is momentum, because people like to pretend like it doesn't exist. Momentum is very important, man. Those players that get a little bit more tired when there's momentum, they're not as tired. Now you're putting pressure on the other team because now you seem unstoppable. Now you can start hiding liabilities on offense. You can start hiding liabilities on defense. You can start just going like momentum does so much for people. Now going to OKC. Again, now they're without Chet, and I think Chet is proven now with his absence as much as with his play time how important he is to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is a very key piece to that team, both offensively and defensively. They are missing a true shot blocker. Hartenstein's great, but he had a lot of his shots blocked tonight. He had a lot of problems on defense in certain stretches and certain points, but it's just spots where their starter, Chet, would be, who I think would really have affected Giannis a lot more. A lot of the different shots that they're taking around the rim, I think that Chet obviously would have really impacted the game defensively more than anything else, and got them those defensive rebounds, gotten some of those clanks they were doing, those bricks they were shooting for three. Chet could have got some of those long rebounds, got them extra possessions, stuff like that. So they are missing Chet. But still, the Shea, Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP talks need to be halted a little bit. Not saying he fell out completely. It's obviously very early, not even halfway through the season. I'm just saying that the narrative that he was running away with it is not true, because it's not just this game. He does this a lot. He did it in the Olympics as well. He has these dry spells where he just cannot hit his shot, and he's inconsistent from three. And not just he doesn't need to be a lights out three-point shooter. It's the timely threes where momentum's in the balance, where he can shift one way or another, and they need that three. And of course, Shea is their number one option. He's going to get the ball. They're going to set him up, and he misses. And it messes the flow up. Then when your leader's doing that, it happens with Golden State too with Curry. It's not just a Shea thing. It's a star, your leader, your star on your team. When they start bricking shots, everyone, for whatever reason, instead of going, okay, we're not shooting well from three, let me go to the midi, let me go to the drive into the basket, let me get some initiate some contact, let me get to the line. Instead of doing stuff like that, everyone follows suit and start shooting these bad shots, start clanking from threes. They follow their leader, and when Shea does this, they follow him down the hell with him, and they just can never climb back up. And Milwaukee has some shooters. They have a lot of length, so a lot of rebound between Giannis and Brook Lopez. I swear I didn't mean to say that. That's not a joke around his shooting. Brook Lopez, Giannis, Bobby Portis. They have a lot of aggressive rebounders and people who are going to dive for the ball. People are going to kick the ball out when they crash into the paint. And it's going to leave these players open. And we have Dame Lillard on the perimeter, and you're not attached to his hip. He's going to make you pay. I mean, there was this ridiculous shot, I think in the second quarter or something, where first or second quarter, where Dame just ran to where shout out to Killer Cam. He was there in attendance. He ran to the sideline and shot a fadeaway out of bounds through, it was crazy. When Dame's hitting those shots and you have Giannis in the paint, I mean, it's going to be a long night for you. And it proved to be a long night for Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC has a lot of great pieces, but there's certain possessions, there's certain ball handlers for OKC that I don't like the decision making. Alex Caruso, as much of a grit and great player he has some possessions where it's just he forget, it's he doesn't know. It's almost like he loses all types of basketball IQ, or I don't even want to say basketball IQ. That's kind of disrespectful. I mean, he it's the chemistry he's built with the team. It gets thrown out the window. He just forgets what he's doing. He does these weird fancy passes that he doesn't need to do, and resulted in a turnover when they didn't need. That's the last thing they needed. And they gave Milwaukee so many extra possessions by just dumb mistakes. Very dumb mistakes. Because Milwaukee gave them every chance to come back in this game and win at a certain point, until they just ran away with it and you blink and now it's a 20-point lead and it's too late. It's already halfway through the fourth quarter. There are possessions where I'm Shea, that's a bad shot. You have teammates who are hot. You have teammates who can create shots. On what Golden State doesn't have is shot creators outside of Curry. People can handle the ball outside of Curry. OKC has that. They have a lot of that. But it's this high usage situation, and it's this thing again where when your shot, as all teams, a lot of players, when your shot's not falling, you've got to do something else. And that's why I hate when people compare James Harden to any basketball player. That's why James Harden is in the top 75 and a lot of these players isn't. Do not disrespect James Harden. He's doing it now at age at like 35 or whatever. Not 35, but whatever age. I think he's no, maybe 34, 35. I say what I say. James Harden. What made James Harden special? Prime James Harden, Houston Rockets James Harden, some of OKC last like year or so of OKC James Harden, is that he can drive into the paint. He can create contact. He could dunk. He could lay the ball up. He could do his step back three. He can lull you to sleep with the Drew moves, go which way, every direction. He was a left-handed shooter. There is so much to James Harden's game that if something was not working, he could pivot to it. Now, in the playoffs, he does what Shea does, where he would, if the three's not falling, he would not do anything else but shoot threes. Like, knowing he has so much to his bag, he would not do anything but brick up threes and make brick houses for the big bad wolf. That's all he would do, and I wish players would do that. I know a lot of these players, especially the star ones, they have packages. They have post games. There's so many different things. That's why I love Kyrie's game. If the three's not falling, he's going to go to the post. He has a great post package. He has a great layup package. He has so many different ways to get to you. That's what makes him great. And he know what makes him great. He has that, but he knows when to go to it. He would not fall in love with any one way to score the basketball, and that's what I respect about that. That's what makes him so freaking hard to guard and play offense. If you are the number one option and you have to guard Kyrie Irving the same game, God bless. Especially throughout a whole series, my hat's to you, bro. So that's what I respect about that. This game doesn't count towards records, doesn't really mean much of anything except to the rookies. And I'm sure, like Dame said, he's probably going to donate some of it to some staff and stuff like that. So it's going to mean a lot to them. But this is another thing. Milwaukee already has momentum by winning games. This is more momentum for Milwaukee. I'm very curious to see how this is going to shape up, how they're going to take this and keep going. They could make Doc Rivers an all-star head coach. Well, no, now the format's different, I guess. But either way, I think Chuck Kenny and Shaq are just GMs. I think they're still going to be coaches for these teams. So if they're still going to be coaches for the new all-star format, Doc Rivers might be an all-star head coach because of what Giannis and Dame are doing. By the way, Lakers fans, you might want to close your ears on this, but your boy with hands always in the pockets, is 12-0 in NBA Cup games. See you on the next one. Congratulations to the Bucks. Really excited to see what Giannis and Dame keep doing throughout the season. OKC, you're still first in the West. You're still a really great team. You're going to get Shaq back before the season ends. Just start shoring up some of these things. Lou Dort, get a little bit more consistent.